Hey everyone, if you're watching this video, it's likely you've dropped your CPU. Whoops, it sucks, doesn't it? I've done that and it's really annoying, but don't worry, Linus from Linus Tech Tips has done it a lot, and many of his CPUs continue to work perfectly fine. And that's because if you have dropped your CPU, in many cases it should be fine, but it obviously depends on a few different factors, so let's talk about that. Firstly, if your CPU is actually in the packaging, and especially in that little plastic blister pack that actually protects the underside of the CPU and stuff, if you dropped it in the packaging, it's very likely to be fine. Some of these CPUs are chucked around by delivery drivers and stuff without us knowing about it, and they still work absolutely fine, so that should be okay. But if you've actually got the CPU in your hands and you've dropped it, it then kind of depends on two factors as to whether the CPU could be damaged or not. Firstly, it depends on the type of flooring you've actually dropped it onto, and secondly, it depends on the type of CPU. So for example, if the CPU is PGA, that means it's got pins underneath, pin grid array, and obviously if you've dropped it, it could be that one of those pins has been dented or bent or something like that, and that is a very bad thing. But you might actually be able to unbend it back, like some people get a mechanical pencil, make sure there's nothing in it, and actually put that metal tip over the pin and bend it back very gently, and sometimes it can work. But if you've got loads of bent pins, you might need to send the CPU in for a repair, or call in a really techie friend or something like that. But that's less likely with the LGA type of CPUs that you tend to see with AM5 and with Intel and things like that. So hopefully if you've got a more modern CPU, you should be okay. But the other thing is obviously the floor surface you drop the CPU onto. If you drop onto carpet, it's very likely to be fine. I know you might be worried about static, but in general, I don't think that's an issue, especially, the CPU obviously hasn't been in a running system when you dropped it, so I don't think the static is going to be able to just kill off the CPU or anything like that. But if you've dropped it on like a hard surface like tiling or concrete floor, then yeah, that might be more risky. But to be honest, if you can't see any physical damage in the CPU, the best thing to do is just put it in and try it out. You could always do a test build, don't put everything in your case first, have the motherboard on a box, connect the power supply cables, the CPU and the motherboard one, put in your NVMe drive or whatever, put the CPU in and your CPU cooler, and just see if it boots up. And if it does, then yeah, you should be fine. But obviously if your CPU is really damaged after falling from like a second story window or something, then yeah, obviously that's slightly different and you might need to buy a new one or whatever else, unfortunately. But if you've got any further questions, let me know down in the comments. Other than that though, that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching it. If you enjoyed it, please click the thumbs up button. And please subscribe to see more videos like this. Thank you.